Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am doing a little makeup declutter. I did do a decluttering video like a really long time ago. Like I think it was last spring. I decluttered my eyeliner and like primers and like eyeshadow bases and things like that. So I'll link that video down below. As I'm sure you can tell by the gap in between these videos, I'm not really doing like a specific declutter series per se. I just kind of want to do these videos like as I see fit when I'm in the mood to. And for the past little while, basically since I moved and started properly organizing my makeup, my concealer, primer, and powder drawer has been driving me crazy because it is literally overflowing. So today that's what we're going to be decluttering. Just a warning, this video is probably pretty long if you haven't already noticed from the timestamp because I do have quite a few products to go through, so settle in, grab a snack. But I'm so ready for this. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the decluttering. So before we jump into the decluttering, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an overview of this drawer. This is everything we're going to be going through today. I will be taking this out so we can see everything in here. By the way, this organizer is just from IKEA. Yeah, in this drawer I've got concealer, primers, some more concealers, but mostly some kind of like color correcting products in there, and then powders in here as well. I also do have these little acrylic organizers on top of my vanity, and I've got a number of like primers and concealers and things like that in here as well. These are all products I reach for on a daily basis or like new things that I'm trying out, so I'm not going to be going through those today. Okay, so one thing I quickly want to address, I know everyone is going to be wondering what I'm doing with the makeup I'm not keeping. First of all, if anything is like brand new or lightly used or easy to be sanitized, it will be getting donated. I already know some things in here will be old and expired, so those will be getting just thrown out. And then other things, if I've like used it quite a bit or whatever, I'll either see if like my mom or a friend wants to take it, you know, people who are okay with my germs. Yeah, I do donate a ton of makeup to homeless shelters and women's shelters. Just recently when I was moving, I donated like a huge shopping tote bag just full of makeup and beauty products. There are women's shelters and things like that out there where women are, you know, fleeing abusive relationships and situations like that, and they're literally just leaving with the clothes they have on their backs and starting over. So donating beauty products and things like that are actually extremely helpful. So if you have products that are just sitting around collecting dust, I highly urge you to look into shelters in your area and organizations you can donate to. So I'm going to start off with concealer. This is the area that is bugging me the most, this and powder. So right off the bat, I've got these two L'Oreal Magic Lumi concealers. As you can see, this one is unopened. This one was just recently sent to me, and I just realized it's in the shade Deep, so this one will be getting donated, but I will keep this one, which is the shade Medium. I use this when I'm more tanned for more natural makeup looks. I also did just receive these three L'Oreal True Match concealers. I've already started using this one, so this one is going to stay. I also do have Fair to Light in the cool undertones. That one will be donated. I think I'm going to hang on to this one in light medium just because I don't have much in the way of concealer for when I do have a bit of a tan, so I'm going to hang on to that one though. I'm also going to be keeping this Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 10. This is the second lightest. I've used up quite a bit of this, so I'm going to try and finish this up at some point. Then I've got this Nature Republic Cream Concealer. I've just used this once in my Trying Korean Makeup video, the second one I did, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I know I'm just not going to use it, so I'm going to donate that one too because it's just like a little squeeze tube. They can clean it off easily. Tarte Shape Tape and my Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser in the yellow shade. Both of these are going to stay. This is a new product that I haven't used yet. It's actually the Maybelline Brow Precise Illuminator. It's like a little angled kind of concealer stick for sculpting your brows. I haven't used this yet, so I'm definitely going to keep that. I'm actually going to put it in with my brow products though. These two I'm going to keep for now. This is the Makeup Forever Full Cover and the Maybelline Master Conceal. I'm keeping them because I'm actually going to probably feature them in a dupe video at some point that I'm kind of planning, because they are really similar to each other, but then I think after that I'm going to ditch them because the full cover is quite old, and same with the Master Conceal. This one I'll probably pass to a friend though because it's quite full. I really only ever use concealer in my eye area now, and these are just too thick. They're not the best formula for that purpose, but I'm going to hang on to them for the time being. This guy I'm going to get rid of. This is the Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. By the way, I use get rid of as kind of a blanket term. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily tossing it. I might see if someone else I know wants this, but this is in the shade 03 Fondant. I don't know if you can tell, but it has kind of a gray tone to it. And also, I think they changed the applicator since, but I have the original applicator, which you only get a tiny little dot of concealer on the very end, so you have to dip in like a million times to get enough. And I just never reach for this concealer because of that. Next, I've got a NYX HD concealer where the packaging is all worn off. Is this empty? There's still concealer in here, I think. I don't even know what shade this is. I think this must be my darker one. It says CW04 on the end, so I think it's the 4th shade. Gonna hang on to this one because it looks to be almost empty and I can use it up. This next concealer is from the Vichy Tint Ideal range. I haven't tried this, and honestly, I don't know if I will. It's in like a rollerball. I don't know, the texture of it seems pretty nice. It's like a really lightweight. I guess it has pretty decent coverage, it seems. I'll hang on to this one for now and give it a shot. I'm gonna see if I can donate this one here. This is the No Cosmetics No Dark Shadows. I tried this in a full face of first impressions a long time ago and I just wasn't a fan of it, but it is kind of like a pen style, so I don't know how sanitary this is, but I wasn't a fan of this one, so I'm definitely not going to keep it either way. I'm gonna donate this guy. This is like a Derma Blend stick concealer and it is brand new. Once again, I just don't reach for concealers like this that are more for like blemishes and things like that. A couple more that I know I'm going to keep are my Derma Blend. This is the Smooth Liquid Camo Concealer, and then also my Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Medium. I like this Derma Blend one, but I wish they would expand the shade range. This one, it's the shade Fair, which is the lightest, but it's quite dark and it's very yellow, but I can still use it and I will use it up. Next we have got this Smashbox Stick Concealer. This is called the Camera Ready Full Coverage Concealer. I don't even know if they still make this, but once again, it's just a little twist up. I have used this one. It's like really, really fair, if you guys can see that. Like, it is so white. If you're like ultra fair, this will definitely be a good one for you. I'm going to toss this one though because it's super old. I'm also going to toss this Cella kind of like highlighting concealer stick because it's really old. I believe I got this in Ipsy and it has been seriously like years since I've been subscribed to them and I just don't use it, so that one's getting thrown out. I think I'm also going to toss this NYX Incredible Waterproof Concealer. This is in the yellow shade, which I actually really used to like for color correcting. You can see it there. It's really old and I don't know, it's not too bad, but I just haven't used it in a million years and it is quite a dry formula, so I'm gonna toss that one too. In case you guys don't know, there's pretty much always a little label on cosmetics. It's like a little jar with an open lid and it will say how many months a product is good for after it's been opened, and this one says 12 months, so I've definitely had it longer than that. I've also got the Maybelline Dream Lumi little kind of like highlighting pen. There's not a lot of product left in here, and this is the Radiant shade. I think I'm gonna toss this though because once again, it's really old and I just don't reach for it. I prefer the L'Oreal one. Also, this one, you only get 1.5 ml of products and it's literally like $14. It's honestly kind of a rip-off. Yeah, you can see it's like a pink salmony kind of brightening shade. I wouldn't use it on its own, more of as like a corrector. And I just have other products that I like better for that purpose. This guy here was from my first trying Korean makeup video, is the Etude House Big Cover Concealer Cushion. I think I'm gonna pass this along to a friend. I think it'd be a lot better for dry skin. If I remember correctly, it was quite greasy and like a little bit too dewy under my eyes. Then we've got a NYX Brightening Hydra Touch Pencil. I haven't tried this yet and I want to give it a shot at least. I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I don't reach for products like this. Maybe I should just donate this one. I think I'm gonna donate it. This is another product I haven't tried yet. It's the e.l.f. concealer in the brightening shade, which is also just like a pale yellow. This one I am going to hang on to. This is a product I'm really torn about. It is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, which a lot of people rave about. And I've had this for a while, but the few times I've tried it, I found it was like really kind of chunky. It's just really kind of like dry, and you can see it's kind of streaky. Like, I wouldn't blend it out with this on my eye area, but I think I'll try this again like 1 or 2 more times and see how it works, just because everyone loves it so much. I want to love it too, so I'll give it one more shot. I think I'm going to give this guy to a friend. This is the MAC Select Moisture Cover Concealer. I do really like this one, but the past few times I've used it, it's just been very creasy and a bit too hydrating for me, and I don't see myself reaching for it, so I'm going to give that to someone. And then finally for concealer, I have got the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Stick in the shade NC30, which is way too dark for me. This just came in like a random PR package. I haven't used it, so I'm gonna donate it. So that's for everything that I'm keeping back in here, and then at the end I'll show you guys the piles of everything I'm getting rid of. So there's still a lot, but definitely considerably less. I'm pretty happy with that. There's 14 concealers that I got rid of, and there definitely will be a few more that I can see myself getting rid of. Like I said, like the Makeup Forever and the Maybelline, and probably this one too, to be honest. Okay, let's go ahead and move into primers. This section in the middle here is more hydrating, glowy primers, and then these are more mattifying, pore filling. I'm going to do these first, and right off the bat, I am going to donate this Misha Layer Blurring Shimmer Primer. This was also in my trying Korean makeup video that I just did. This left like a very distinctive shimmer all over my face, so I'm gonna donate that one. Definitely keeping my Too Faced Hangover Primer. It's one of my faves. These two I've actually yet to try, so I'm gonna hang on to both of them. First is the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer, and then the Pure Correcting Primer. This is the Illuminate and Glow. I don't know why I haven't tried this yet, because you guys know I love Pure. Definitely need to try this soon. I should actually probably add this to my little acrylic organizer instead. This guy I've got really mixed feelings about. This is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer. I love this while I was on Accutane for like mixing in with my foundations. I don't really like it on my oily skin though, because it is a little bit greasy, but at the same time, there's so little left in here. I don't want to give it away, donate it, and I don't want to throw it out, but I don't know how much use I'll get out of it. I'm gonna try and finish it up though, but if it's not gone in a couple months, I'm gonna throw it out. This one is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Hydrating Primer. I'm gonna pass this along to someone because I just never reach for it. These next two are tricky ones. I never really reached for this Estee Edit Beam Team Hydrate and Glow, but I do really like it. I just have other like hydrating, illuminating kind of bases that I reach for instead. You've got like the primer, and then there's also like a little cream product in the lid here. I think I honestly need to decide between these two. I've got a MAC Strobe cream here. I think I'm gonna hang on to the MAC Strobe cream because I like the texture of it a little bit better, and I'm gonna donate this one. That was nice and fast and easy. I'm gonna put everything in here back now. My one thing with my primers is that I'm sure you saw I do have a lot of primers in the acrylic organizers, and I basically have to keep them there because I didn't have any room in here. So I really want to clear out some room so I can eventually move those guys into here just so I can kind of be cycling through everything. Onto these primers. This one I know I'm going to throw out. It is the Professional License to Blot from Benefit. It's like a little twist up stick that you can use kind of as a primer. You can use it to touch up, whatever. I've got that much left. I've used up like half of it, and it's not a bad product, but it's super old. I've had it since I worked for Sephora, and I never use it anymore, so I'm gonna toss it. I'm gonna keep this guy here. This is the Professional like mattifying gel. I do use this every once in a while, so I'll hang on to that. It's still pretty full too. This guy I am tossing. It is a little mini size of the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. This expired over a year ago, and it's been a while since I've used it, so I don't feel that bad about it, but definitely needs to get tossed, and I did use up most of it. It looks fairly full, but it's more just like a coating on the outside, or the inside rather, and Hourglass actually just sent me a new full size of this, which is awesome, so definitely going in the trash. Probably gonna pass this one along to someone. It is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer. It's a good one, but I just don't reach for it once again. Another one I'm gonna toss is the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer. Another one from my Sephora days, so it's really old. I just don't reach for it, and I don't know. It's like really dry. You guys can probably see there too, the packaging has like melted. I also do have an unopened full size of the original Smashbox primer. I just got a deluxe size of this in BOXYCHARM, and I said I was gonna put that one in the giveaway, but I think I'm actually gonna do the full size. You can see it's still got like the seal on it. And then I'm gonna keep the deluxe size because I have so many primers, I know I will never use this up. So hopefully one of you guys can get some better use out of it than me. NYX Angel Veil I'm definitely keeping. I still reach for this on a fairly regular basis. I'll also be keeping my Milani Prime Shield. This is the mattifying oil-free version because I just got this on my trip and I haven't really tried it out that much yet. This one I'm not sure about. This is the Maybelline Blur and Smooth Primer, so really good for pores too. I think I'll hang on to this one just for another good drugstore option. It is like one of my favorite drugstore primers. And then I think I'm going to keep these last two. This is the Tony Moly Yolk Primer for my first trying Korean makeup video. This one actually works really well. Like I really prefer it to the Makeup Forever and the Smashbox, so I'll hang on to this one because it is really great for smoothing pores. This one a little bit mixed on. It's the Bare Minerals Oil Control Primer. I haven't used this since like well before I started Accutane, but I did really like it, so I'll hang on to it. I feel like I've used up a decent amount of it too, so maybe I can use it up. So let's go ahead and put everything back now. I also just grabbed the little mini size out of my giveaway box. I'm going to pop that back in. Who knows, it might end up going in a smaller giveaway at some point, but then this is going to be added. I got rid of 4 primers from that section, which I think is pretty good. It's definitely looking a lot less cluttered and a little bit more manageable. Okay, let's go back to this section here now. Once again, this is more like color correcting products. First off, I'm going to donate this NYX Photo Loving Primer. It's like a green color correcting primer. I literally have never used this. I bought it on a whim because it was on clearance for literally $1. So I'm going to pass that along to someone. And by pass that along to someone, I mean donate it. I'm definitely going to keep this Lancome CC Cushion. This is like a color correcting primer. I use this fairly regularly. Okay, for stuff like this, I never know if it's like a product I can donate because I don't know how hygienic it is. If you guys do know, let me know in the comments down below. But I'm going to try and donate this Juviance Color Wheel. It's just pretty light coverage. It's a bit too dark for me. I think it was a little bit too oily too, so I'm not going to keep that. This guy's getting tossed. It's like a really old Sephora cream concealer in the pot. This guy too is super old. It's like a little Lancome concealing palette. That's what it looks like there. I believe it's too dark for me, and I've had this since I worked for Lancome, which was even before Sephora, which is pretty gross, so I'm gonna toss that one. Body Shop whitening drops I'm going to keep because I still have yet to try these. I still need to try these out in a video, but I just haven't gotten around to it. This guy I should really get rid of. It is like a Lise Watier color correcting wheel. I've used this a few times and the tones just didn't really work for me. Like I mostly bought it for this lavender corrector and it's just too light under my eyes. Like it literally makes the skin under my eyes look white, even with a concealer over top of it. It was just really expensive, so I don't know. I'm gonna see if a friend wants this one because it's still pretty new and like, I don't know. they're still decent. This little guy is the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Primer in the Radiant Yellow shade. I do really like this. I just never reach for mini primers. Maybe now that I have room for it up here, I will though. So I'll pop it in here. I'm gonna try and use it up. And then this last guy is the NYX Conceal Correct Contour Palette. I'll hang on to this one because I do use it every once in a while. I actually used this on my brother before he got his business card photos taken, but I got rid of my similar products, so I'll hang on to this one. So now there's only 3 products in this section now. I feel way better about that. I got rid of like 5, and those were just things I really didn't use. I'm gonna flip this back around and then we're gonna do powder finally. So my powder section is something I really want to minimize because I just have way too much. As you saw, I do have a couple other powders on my acrylic organizers, and I just have a couple other things laying around like my RCMA no color powder and stuff like that. I just have way too much, especially powder foundations, because I rarely ever reach for them. I'm gonna start off with a few similar primers first. I've got a few kind of translucent mattifying blotting powders. I did just get the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot and I really like it, so that one's staying. This is the Ofra Oil Control Press Powder. I got this in one of my first BOXYCHARMs. Had really high hopes for this, but it sucks. It honestly, it doesn't even leave a white cast. It actually just like turns your face white. I'm gonna donate it though because it is still fairly new. I tried it I think maybe once or twice before realizing it just wasn't gonna work. And then Rimmel Stay Matte, I think I'll pass along to my mom or something. I have used a fair amount of it. I used to use it a lot when I was still like working in retail and needed my makeup to really last for like 10+ hours a day, but I don't need this and the Soap & Glory powder as well. I'm gonna donate this Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Powder, another one from my Korean makeup video. That last one was just such a flop, you guys. I just don't like quite how matte this made me, so I'm gonna donate that one. Oh, and one thing too, I did recently just get rid of 3 other powders that just didn't fit in here at all. I donated the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and then I tossed a really old Makeup Forever foundation powder and a really old NARS one as well. This one I'm going to keep. This is the Estee Edit Flash Photo Powder. It's just a translucent one. Haven't really tried this one out yet, so I want to test it. I am also going to keep my NYX HD Press Powder because I really like using this to set my eye area, and as you can see, I've hit a pretty large amount of pan. It won't take too long to use that up. I am going to also keep my Dermablend Loose Setting Powder. This one's really nice for days that I want to bake, and I do also have one of these in my 100K giveaway pile too, just so you guys know. This one here is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Under Eye Powder. Definitely keeping that. I have a little mini of the Makeup Forever HD powder. I've never tried the press version, so I'm gonna hang on to this one a little bit longer. I think it would be really nice for travel too, so I do want to give this a shot. I'm gonna donate this guy. This is the Bourjois Rice Powder, I believe it's called. It's all in French. This is a nice powder. It's like a pink tone brightening powder with like a really soft, fine shimmer to it. Like it doesn't look glittery at all though. It's just kind of glowy. Kind of reminds me of the Bare Minerals, what is it? The Mineral Veil powder. This is heavily fragrance though, and I just never reached for it, and I haven't used it that many times in the first place. By Terry Hyaluronic Powder, definitely keeping. You guys know that's one of my faves. This guy, I'm not sure what to do. This is the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Powder. I love this one. I've talked about it so many times on my channel, but the past few times I've used it, it just doesn't work as well for me. Like how much do I have left there? Probably about like a third. I don't know, every time I use it to set my under eye recently, it just kind of like clumps up on my concealer and gets weird, which it's never done before. So I'm kind of thinking it might be expired. It says 24 months, which is probably about on par with when I got it, so it's probably going bad. I really do love this powder, but I'm gonna toss it. These ones I still haven't tried. These are 2 of the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powders. One is in the shade Medium, so I'm gonna donate that one, and then the other one is in the shade Rose. I'll keep this one and try it out at some point. This is another one I've got mixed feelings about. This is one of the Laura Mercier like mineral powder foundations. This is just really light for me now. Like it's a very pale kind of shade. You can't really tell quite how light it is. It's just literally been so long since I've used this. I think I'm gonna see if someone else wants it though. These guys I'm keeping. They are 2 of the new The Balm Photo Balm powder foundations. Haven't tried these yet. One I might end up passing because on the end here you can see this one looks like it'll be quite pink, but I'm gonna hang on to them for the time being. And then these 2 Maybelline Better Skin powder foundations I am going to be donating. I haven't used either of them and I just don't see myself using them. They also do have salicylic acid in them, which can tend to irritate my skin. I kind of want to like put one of these in the giveaway, but I feel like putting foundations and like skin tone things are kind of tricky because obviously they might not match a lot of people. Would you guys want to see one of these in the giveaway? Let me know. And then finally, the Pure Powder Foundation. This is called the 4-in-1 Pressed Mineral Makeup. I do really like this. I just noticed the expiry on the back says 0420. Does that mean April 2020? I'm really confused about that. I do like this, but I also do have a Vichy powder foundation that's kicking around somewhere that I prefer to this, so I'm gonna pass this one along too. Time to put everything back. Definitely very happy with how that section is looking. I got rid of 10 other powders, and now I actually have room, like if I want to move my new Airspun powder in there, it actually fits, and same with some of my other powders, which is fantastic. So that is it. Let's pop this guy back in. I'll give you another overview of how everything looks like now. We'll do like a little before and after, and then I'll show you guys everything I got rid of. So this is the after. Look how much better that looks. I know it's still kind of a ridiculous amount of makeup, but definitely way more manageable. So this is the donation pile. I know it's kind of hard to see because my vanity is dark. There's also the powder here if you can't tell. That's all getting donated. This is the pile of stuff that I'm gonna see if like my friends or my mom wants. And then this is what's going in the garbage. So that is definitely a lot of stuff cleared out. Whew, that wraps up this decluttering session. As much as I love getting new makeup, it always feels good to kind of purge a little bit and get rid of the excess. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, and let me know if you want to see more decluttering videos in the future or if I should just keep them to myself. Go follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I am at SARI Rihanna on all three, and hit that subscribe button down below if you are new here. But I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye guys.